Ubisoft has to be one of the most polarizing game companies to ever exist. Only a handful of companies come close to the downfall of Ubisoft, with Ubisoft releasing some absolute bangers like Assassin's Creed, Far Cry 3, Watch Dogs and Rayman Raving Rabbids, but Ubisoft had a problem. An addiction, you might call it. They couldn't stop making sequels, with Assassin's Creed falling into a trap, Call of Duty also fell into, with the franchise undergoing yearly releases during the years of 2009 to 2015, causing a lack of innovation, eventually leading to the death of the franchise.
The game looks like this, all cinematic, but we're going to get into the actual game and it's going to look nothing like this, I'm betting.
I told you it looked nothing like the cinematic, man. I told you.
They are liberators, Mihan, not merchants.
Did his hands, did he grab onto like a box and not, why, what is she doing? I was over there, why do you want, what the, I hate this game. What? What? I hit W and he jumps, what? Yeah, they really did take this game back to the roots. And by that I mean Assassin's Creed 2's janky ass parkour. Far Cry 5, like, as bad as it was, came out, what was it, like 2016, 17, and had better graphics than this game. Okay. I'm gonna fight everyone. I'm gonna fight everybody. What? What? I didn't hear anything. What is the fucking pose? She's gliding. She's gliding across the floor. He's coming with me. He's on way with me. Let's go, bro. Let's go. The camel is leaving. The camel is leaving. I'm actively punching the guy and he's just not bothered. I'm actively hitting him and he doesn't care. If I kill him and take his sword, can I... The fuck did the sword go? He's just running in fucking circles.
But did we learn anything from Ubisoft's downfall?
Yes.
We learned that they can make a good history game, and today that leads me to For Honor is a melee combat game. The triangle on screen here shows where an incoming attack is coming from and where your attack is going to hit. It also helps with parrying enemies, so it's my recommendation that you get at least 500 hours on Elden Ring before playing For Honor. In fact, beat all of Dark Souls 3 for good measure. You throw heavy attacks, light attacks, guard break and feint, allowing you to trick an adversary into believing you've thrown an attack only to guard break them, fail, then die. But I can never teach you all the mechanics of this game. For a start, because I don't know half of them. 2, the game doesn't teach you half of them. And 3, because you'll get killed before you get the chance to use them. Because For Honor is so unfair, they decided to give players a fighting chance. When a player is outnumbered, they start to fill up something called the revenge meter, but I don't know, I've never experienced it. The outnumbered player's meter will fill up with every attack launched at them, with failed attacks filling the meter even faster. Once full, they light up like the Human Torch, probably knocking you to the ground in the process and wiping your entire team.
Also, because I've played too much of Griffin, and by that I mean like 5 minutes, my brain smoothed out, and I forgot to mention 2 things. 1, your characters have feats, which are little abilities that you can use if you get enough renown. And 2, I forgot about environmental damage. Environmental damage can include things like ledging, aka pushing people off cliffs, or you can jump on people from any height and it will kill them. There's also fire damage, and some characters have bleed and poison, so have fun with that.
But how do you learn the mechanics of this game? Well, in training mode, of course. Sure, the main tutorial doesn't teach you half the mechanics. Looks like you're gonna have to resort to trial and error. The training arena does allow you to learn characters' moves and even test out heroes you haven't bought yet. There's also custom matches as well, which are only good for ruining friendships. When playing For Honor, you have one of 3 choices. You can do the smart option and turn off matchmaking for a relaxing bot-only game, keep matchmaking on and see who can get the most eliminations of, well, bots, or play against people and give yourself nothing but pain for 15 minutes. I'm about 85% sure that playing against people in For Honor has been directly linked to the increased rates of depression in young people. But be warned, while Bot Breach might be a literal daycare, Bot Dominion can suck my bot. It's awful, man. Don't do it to yourself. I swear to God, these motherfuckers are hooked directly into ChatGPT. Bots come in 3 difficulties, named level 1 to 3, with 1 and 2 being rather easy to deal with, while level 3 bots. And when it comes to heroes, each one operates slightly differently, with the differences being either minor or extremely obvious, with heroes countering one another. For example, Gladiator counters Aramusha, Shaolin counters everyone, and Warden is countered by everyone. Each hero honestly deserves their own video though. But when it comes to heroes, you can actually customize them, as well as your emblems. You can also choose what execution you will use. An execution makes sure an enemy either stays dead, can't be revived, or has a longer time to wait till they respawn, with each execution rewarding more health depending on its length.
Be advised, you should stop playing this game and go touch some grass, you little virgin.
Breach is by far the longest game mode in For Honor, with matches lasting anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes at a time, depending on how good the defenders are. The defenders must destroy the ram, with them having a pot of hot coals and ballistas, as well as archers to help deal damage to it. You have 2 opportunities to destroy the ram, with each phase offering different challenges. Phase 1 offers a small playable area with a few buffs littered around. The attackers must capture ramparts to not only gather renown, but also stop defending archers from spawning, with a shield banner spawning in every few minutes, allowing for either team to add health to either the gate or the ram. In Phase 2, you're given a much bigger area to play around in. Aside from the normal things like health points and shield banners, you can also find the Guardian, a mini-boss. Fucking mini-boss. A mini-boss who, once killed, rewards you with universal buffs, allowing you to sweep through the map. But don't think it'll be that easy. He gets revenge no matter how many people are on him, he can throw down a bomb whenever he gets hurt, and he's a neutral force. Meaning that either team can kill him, die and his health bar resets, and you actually have to be in the arena to get his buffs if your team kills him. But because he attacks everyone, you can do a move only made by utter scum and use him against the enemy team. In the final phase of the game, the attackers get assigned a set of lives and must kill the defender's commander before their lives run out, with the amount of lives being determined by the ram's health. In fact, Breach used to be a life-based game until they changed it to the more modern system, and instead of changing the intro video, they just blacked out the life logo.
Yeah, you like when I bark like a good boy? Who's the good boy? I'm the good fucking Oh shit, I didn't realize I had this motherfucker on. This is gonna be a hard one to explain to the bossy wassy. Ooh, I hope daddy doesn't punish me.
Dominion is the main game mode of For Honor, with it normally being the only game mode to have the very high activity tag. The game mode is your usual king of the hill. You have to capture one of 2 points, with the third, usually point B, being dubbed the minion lane. But what is the minion lane? The minion lane is a point that is decided by which team's soldiers hold the point. This can be determined by the borderline's colours, or whatever colour minion is in the zone. To cap this point, you must clear out the opposite team's soldiers so you can take it. The other 2 points are captured by simply walking into them, with the capture speed depending on how many members of your team are currently in the zone. Capturing a zone does a handful of things. As long as no enemies are in there, it acts as a good health point. Boosting the zone gives passive renown, but both these things can be cancelled if an enemy enters the zone. Depending on what map you're on, these points can either be a ghost town or an actual war zone, with fights so unfair you can literally lag out of the game. And speaking of Dominion maps, I want it to be known that not all maps are made the same, with there being around 8 maps that can be played, each one having a slightly similar layout. Apart from Vashard, which for some reason has its point C as the minion lane. Dominion will most likely be where most of your For Honor experiences happen. In fact, it's the only game mode to appear in the tutorial.
Be advised, some fat horrible fucking virgin is using mods in this lobby trying to fake clips. Leave the fucking game, bozo.
The other 4v4 game modes are Deathmatch, which is split up into 2 different sub-modes, Elimination and Skirmish. Elimination is extremely simple. You're placed onto a Dominion map with 1 life, with the only objective being to eliminate the enemy team. But do not think for a fucking instant that makes it safe to hang out with your team. Skirmish acts like Dominion, only without the minions. You still need to fill up the bar, but you do so by getting eliminations. But I wouldn't know because I couldn't get into a game. The last 4v4 game mode we're going to talk about is Tribute, which is just capture the flag. And I can't lie, it's actually pretty fun.
Be Be advised, I've been trapped in this room for 12 fucking years. Please let me out, you have to help me. I can't take this shit anymore. I have a wife and kids. Sandra, if you hear this, I love you.
One-on-one fights in For Honor can be a rare sight, seeing as every time you get into one, a teammate usually joins, feeds revenge, and you both die. Or, one of their teammates shows up, you get no revenge, then die. Luckily for us, For Honor does offer a 1v1 mode, Duels, which comes in two variants, Ranked and Unranked. Unranked is a mixed bag, while Ranked... That is, after all, if you can get into a fucking game. This searching time is such a problem that it has become a cornerstone of the subreddit. Whenever I feel bad, whenever I feel low, depressed, or even down bad, I simply go on the For Honor subreddit and look at these rank times. Anyways, aside from Breach or Dominion, Duels has to be the best game mode. Why, you ask? Because of the Wulin maps, which for some ungodly reason are the only maps to have a brisk 60 FPS, allowing for some of the most beautiful fights you've ever seen. It's actually required by law to turn off your HUD when playing on them. With this information in hand, I think it's clear that these Chinese maps are the best, obviously showing us that China reigns supreme. All hail CCP. If you want a more complicated version of Duels, you can always try Brawls, aka 2v2s. There are two game modes I've actually not covered so far, Arcade and Story Mode, with Story Mode deserving its own video, and Arcade Mode, which is a DLC that comes with the Matching Fire expansion. The game mode gives you a weekly challenge that offers extra loot. They're normally simple ones like eliminating the enemies, but because that's too easy, they throw modifiers into the mix, making it either ridiculously easy or actual torture. And that's it for today's video. Over the coming few months, I'm going to start making a series where I cover the different heroes of For Honor. And with that said, as always, until next time.